at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com, author of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. So, I got a question a couple days ago from a guy. He wanted to know some of the ways that women manipulate guys. And there's a lot of ways women manipulate guys. Because he wanted to know what's the difference between persuasion and manipulation. And it all comes down to intent. Now, a person that persuades somebody, or at least tries to, persuasion is about getting people to do things that they would normally do. But it depends on your intent. You have to have good intent as far as persuasion goes. It's not about bait and switch. That's manipulation. Manipulation is when someone does something under the assumption that this is what it is, this is how it is, and you want them to take some type of action, and then the person finds out that I was being misled. That's manipulation. All day, every day. Let me put this over here. So that's one of the biggest, that's the difference between manipulation and persuasion. Nothing wrong with persuasion at all. Now, as far as manipulation, most women have been conditioned to be this way. I think most women manipulate people by damn near default in most interactions. And I have a problem with it sometimes. It might be female nature. I'm not sure, but I think some women, just some people, just take manipulation too far. Like for example, if a woman does something, and she knows you like it, and she pulls it away all of a sudden because of something that you didn't do, that's manipulation. And sex is probably the #1 manipulation tool that most women use on guys. Because if a woman, gets the guy sprung, or maybe she knows he likes it all the time, or at least more than her, that'll be like her trump card. So she'll say, hey, if you don't do this, you ain't getting nothing tonight. That's manipulation. That's just another way of trying to control the man to get him to do something. But women don't really have to do that. There's some women out here, very few, that a guy can get inspired by her, and guys will automatically want to do stuff for her. You know, I know some women that's like that because I've met them, obviously. But a lot of women don't have that confidence. I don't think they believe in themselves enough to take on that way of thinking and being. So they have to manipulate. So they come from a place of lack. You know, some of it has to do with ignorance. Some of it has to do with them being not being so confident, or don't know who they are, insecure, etc. So, you know, it's unfortunate, but you know, most women will use something pertaining to sex or sexuality involving the guy to manipulate him. That's how it usually happens. And another thing that's pretty common too that I've been seeing over the past 20 years. And this happens a lot when guys have to marry a girl that doesn't have a green card. She needs citizenship. What usually happens, it happens, you know, even if she has citizenship, but it happens a lot if she needs a visa or a green card. This is what usually happens. They'll date a couple months, couple years, and you know, she'll hide things from the guy. She'll present herself one way. She'll purposely hide things from him because she want to put her best foot forward. And at the last minute, I'm talking last week, I mean when they're about to get married, done all the paperwork, about to get married, last week or two, you know, she'll say, hey, got this payday loans that's for $5,000-$10,000, or some type of loan that's for $5,000-$10,000, and I don't have the money to pay it. Can you pay it before we get married? This is pretty common. It don't necessarily have to be a payday loan or some kind of loan, some type of debt that they're in. This happens a lot. Girls that come from other countries, or maybe she could be in college over here. This happens a lot. This happens a lot even with girls that do have citizenship, because a lot of guys will be under disguise that she has a car, house, you know, decent paying job, maybe she has a bike, but all this shit is on credit. She's making monthly payments on all this, but on the surface it looks like she's doing well, but she ain't paying none of this stuff in cash. All this credit. So before they get married, she'll be like, hey, you know, I have all this debt, you know, and but she presented herself like everything was all paid. She's in good standards, you know. So that's kind of a bait and switch type deal. It's kind of like you represent yourself like this, but in reality you're in debt. Not only are you bought everything on credit, you got credit cards. You done maxed the credit cards out because she over leveraged her spending, done bought too much stuff, and now you don't have enough money coming in to pay all your bills, And now you got to use the credit card as leverage to pay the bills and buy groceries and do whatever else. So the credit cards become like extra money, extra cash in most cases. But she doesn't tell you this for the year or 2, 3 years that y'all have been talking, the dating. She tells you this within the last month that y'all plan to get married. This happens a lot. Especially, this happens a lot in first world countries. Like North America, South America, Australia, UK. It happens a lot. A lot. You know, I've been hearing stories like this for years. So a lot of women will make it seem like they got it going on. Like they're doing all this lavish things. They take these trips. They using credit cards. Most of these trips and vacation. Most of these people are not paying cash. They'll use the credit card under the assumption that, hey, I'll pay the bill later. And they don't pay the bill later because what usually happens, something happens before it's time to pay the monthly bill. Now they might have the intent to pay the bill, but something usually happens, and then half of the bill they'll end up basically making the minimum amount of payment on that trip that they spent in Miami that cost them $1,500. So when you see a lot of these women got cars, and jewelry, and house, and bike, and buying clothes, and got all the name brand bags, and they're 9 times out of 10 they've overspent. And if they went to college, 9 times out of 10 they have student loans. If they went to a 4-year college, university, 9 times out of 10 they got student loans. Their student loans is anywhere between $80,000 to $120,000. That's how much their student loans is. If they went to a 4-year college, 4-year university, that's how much their student loans is. If they have a professional job, an attorney, a doctor, them shits be like 200, 300, 400,000 student loans that they owe. So don't let these women fool you. Don't let them fool you. A lot of these women are just, that I've met over the years, they just happen to have a job. A lot of these women are not very ambitious. There's some, of course, but not as much as you think. There's some women that you meet that are probably willing to build with a man, but not many. Not many. A lot of them will present themselves like, hey, I'm on your side. I'll support you in the beginning. As time go on, just all that supporting thing, that's out of the window. A lot of times they're looking for you to have all your stuff together, so they don't have to do very much. They want the least amount of responsibility. That's how it usually is. And you have some women, they don't want to be involved with anything that the guy has going on. They see, another thing, a lot of women will, they might like being around you because of the people you know. Maybe you know people from all walks of life, movers and shakers, the millionaires. Maybe you met people like that. Maybe you travel from time to time, like I do. right? I know people from all walks of life. And, you know, to some women, being around me, that's entertainment for them. But they don't like who I am as a person at the core of who I am. That's what they don't like, what I represent, what I stand for. But they like being around me because I be doing stuff that I have done stuff that a lot of people will never do, will never accomplish. Not because they can't do it, it's because they're afraid to try. And it's not easy. It's not, you know, nothing I've ever done or accomplished has been easy. So it's the element of fear that's there. That's why a lot of guys won't attempt to do a lot of stuff that I've done. But to a woman, that's attractive because it's rare. Doesn't happen every day. Doesn't happen every week. Doesn't happen every month. Right? So they like that. But they don't like who I am at the core. They don't like what I stand for. I care about family. Most women don't. They just care about their way of living, lifestyle. That's it. Have a good time. That's it. They got their job. I got mine. That's it. Don't care about what my family got doing. They barely care about what their family doing most of the time. You know, they're not conscious of how they eat, how they live, being fit, being overweight. They don't really, you know, it's like, there's some things I just don't want to be involved with. And a lot of people I've met, they just don't understand it. They just think, there's a lot of women out here think that you're supposed to accept them as they are. But when it's my turn, I'm like, hey, you know, this is how I am. They're like, I don't know that. You know, so it's that dynamic out here. You know, it's like, but a lot of women will present themselves like they're down with you in the beginning. And as soon as something happens to you, maybe you had some type of hardship, you lost your job, you got hurt, you got sick, there's a good chance she's gonna leave. If whatever happens to you lasts for a long time, like weeks, months, maybe a year or two, she's gonna be gone. Yeah, she's gonna be gone. But if something happens to her, she expects you to be there regardless. Through thick and thin, good or bad. You know? So the rules is not the same for her. But the standards, see, a lot of women have the standards high for the guy. The rules and standards is high. She expects a lot from you. But when it comes to her, very little. And you're gonna meet a lot of women that's like this. A lot of us like this. There are not many unicorns out here. Not many. Very few. They're rare. You know, they're rare. It really is. So you just have to filter these women out. Really, that's the only way. Who you are, just being who you are, that filters them out too. Because women, they have sixth sense. They can pick up on what type of guy you are. Yeah, they can pick up on what type of guy you are. They don't gotta necessarily talk to you. They can just look at you and see how you carry yourself, see how you talk, how you know, they'll pick up, they'll know what type of guy you are. Women are very intelligent. They're not stupid. So hey, you know, this is just a couple things that I've been noticing over the past 20 years. A couple of ways that women manipulate men, and the funny thing is, one of the biggest problems with manipulation from a woman's point of view is this is why a lot of quote nice guys have problems with women, because they're trying to do the same thing that women are trying to do to them. This is why if a guy is super nice to a woman that he first meets, she's confused because she's trying to do the same thing to you. That's one of the biggest problems with being a quote nice guy, or being so super nice in the beginning. Because a woman is looking at it like, hey, I'm like that if I'm trying to manipulate a guy and he's trying to be just like me. See, you know. So this is why you should treat everybody the same until proven otherwise in the beginning, when you first meet them. Don't treat women any different just because she looks better. I know sometimes it's easier said than done, but if she's an 8, 9, 10, she's still a woman. She's still a woman. I mean, I'm a man too. If I see a woman that's a 9 or 10, I'll be like, God damn. But I don't let her know that how I feel. I don't project that how I feel on her. You know, I don't say, hey, you're so pretty, you're attractive, you're fun. No, I don't do all that. I keep that to myself. You know. So hey, you know, this video is getting a little bit too long, so I'm gonna end this. So tell me what you think. Tell me some ways that you've been manipulated by women. Leave your comments below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share it, subscribe, and you can follow me on Instagram at SharpGame. So until next time, I'm out. Peace.